Imagine a world where the shadows hold more power than the law. In this episode of Revealing the Dark Secrets, we delve deep into the hidden corners of our global society to uncover the most active mafias in 2023. These organizations operate in the shadows, wielding influence and power that often surpasses that of legitimate institutions. Our journey will take us across continents, exploring the intricate networks and activities of these clandestine groups. The Italian Mafia, more than just a cliché. When we think of the Mafia, images of the classic Italian gangster often come to mind. However, the Italian Mafia, particularly groups like the Cosa Nostra in Sicily and the 'Ndrangheta in Calabria, are far more than just cultural stereotypes. These organizations have deep historical roots dating back to the 19th century, originally forming as secret societies. Over the years, they have evolved into sophisticated criminal networks. In the 21st century, the Italian Mafia has adapted remarkably to the modern world. They've embraced technology, expanding their operations beyond traditional rackets like protection and extortion. Now, they're deeply involved in international crime, including drug trafficking, money laundering, and even cybercrime. Their use of the dark web and cryptocurrencies has made their activities more elusive and harder to track. Yet despite their global reach, these mafias maintain a strong local presence. In many parts of southern Italy, they are deeply embedded in the social and economic fabric. They wield significant influence over local businesses, politics, and even everyday life, often operating under a code of silence known as omerta. The persistence of these groups poses a significant challenge to law enforcement and society at large. They are not just relics of the past, but are dynamic, evolving organizations that continue to exert considerable power and influence both locally and internationally. Understanding the modern dynamics of the Italian Mafia is crucial in comprehending the broader landscape of organized crime in today's world. So the Russian Mafia, a global force. The Russian Mafia, often referred to as Bratva, Brotherhood, represents a formidable force in the international criminal landscape. Emerging prominently in the chaos following the Soviet Union's collapse, these groups quickly gained notoriety for their ruthless efficiency and wide-reaching influence. Unlike the hierarchical structure of traditional mafias, the Russian Mafia is a collection of various criminal organizations, each operating independently but often collaborating for mutual benefit. A key aspect of their operations in the 21st century is their significant involvement in cybercrime. The Russian Mafia has been implicated in some of the world's most sophisticated cyber attacks, including online fraud, hacking, and identity theft. Their proficiency in this domain not only yields immense profits, but also poses a serious threat to global cybersecurity. Apart from cybercrime, they are deeply involved in global trafficking networks, dealing in arms, drugs, and human trafficking. Their extensive international connections enable them to operate across borders with relative ease, making them a concern for law enforcement agencies worldwide. Moreover, the Russian Mafia has successfully infiltrated legitimate businesses and political spheres, often using these sectors to launder money and exert influence. This integration into legitimate facets of society complicates efforts to combat their activities, as it blurs the lines between lawful enterprise and criminal endeavors. Understanding the Russian Mafia's operations is critical, as their activities have significant implications for global crime trends, international law enforcement cooperation, and the security of financial and political institutions. Their adaptability and sophistication make them a formidable global force in the realm of organized crime. The Triads, China's shadowy networks. The Triads, originating from China, are among the most enigmatic entities in the world of organized crime. With roots tracing back to the 17th century, these secret societies were initially formed as resistance movements against the Qing dynasty. However, over centuries, they evolved into multifaceted criminal organizations, deeply entrenched in both historical tradition and modern illicit activities. Today, the Triads are active players in a range of criminal enterprises. Their operations span across various countries, making them a significant concern in international law enforcement. One of their primary activities is human trafficking, where they are involved in smuggling people across borders under dangerous and often inhumane conditions. This includes forced labor and exploitation in various industries, reflecting a grave human rights concern. Another major area of their criminal expertise is drug smuggling. The triads play a pivotal role in the global narcotics trade, particularly in the production and distribution of synthetic drugs. Their involvement in the methamphetamine trade, for instance, has significant implications for both regional and international drug markets. The secretive nature of these societies, combined with their deep historical roots, makes them particularly challenging to understand and combat. They operate with a level of sophistication and discretion that allows them to weave seamlessly into the fabric of society, often protected by a code of silence and loyalty among their members. Understanding the dynamics of the triads is crucial in comprehending the broader landscape of organized crime in Asia and beyond. Their historical legacy, coupled with their adaptation to modern criminal activities, positions them as a resilient and formidable force in the underworld. The rise of the Mexican cartels have emerged as some of the most powerful and violent criminal organizations in the world. Their rise to power has transformed them into entities that not only dominate the drug trade, but also wield important influence over different aspects of Mexican community and politics. These cartels operate with a level of brutality and sophistication that has led to them being viewed as a parallel power to the Mexican government. One of the key factors behind their rise is their control over drug trafficking routes. Mexico's geographical location makes it a strategic gateway for smuggling narcotics into the United States, the world's largest consumer of illegal drugs. The cartels have developed extensive networks for the production, transportation, and distribution of different drugs, including marijuana, cocaine, heroin, and more recently, synthetic opioids like fentanyl. The tactics employed by these cartels are notoriously brutal. They engage in extreme violence to assert their dominance and eliminate competition. This includes mass killings, public executions, and other acts of terror that have had a profound impact on the social fabric of Mexico. The climate of fear created by this violence affects everyday life, undermining the rule of law and public security. Additionally, the cartels have infiltrated different levels of government and law enforcement, corrupting officials and creating a system where they can operate with relative impunity. This corruption further complicates efforts to combat their influence and has led to a situation where the lines between the cartels and state power are often blurred. The impact of the Mexican cartels extends beyond the borders of Mexico. Their actions have important implications for international drug policy, immigration, and security in the Americas. Understanding the rise and operations of these cartels is essential for grasping the complexities of organized crime and its profound impact on society and politics in the 21st century. The Yakuza, Japan's criminal underworld. The Yakuza, Japan's notorious criminal syndicate, is a unique entity in the world of organized crime. Known for their strict codes of conduct and intricate tattoos, the Yakuza have a history that dates back to the Edo period. Unlike many criminal organizations that operate in the shadows, the Yakuza have a peculiar semi-legal status in Japan, with a history of being both feared and somewhat tolerated by society. Central to Yakuza operations is their involvement in various forms of gambling, which in Japan includes traditional games such as pachinko. These gambling operations are not just lucrative businesses, they also serve as a front for other illegal activities, including loan sharking and money laundering. The Yakuza's control over gambling also extends to illegal betting, giving them significant influence in the underground economy. Another significant aspect of the Yakuza's activities is corporate extortion, known as sokaya. In these schemes, Yakuza members buy shares in companies to gain leverage at shareholder meetings, where they intimidate and extort money from corporations by threatening to disclose sensitive information. This practice highlights the Yakuza's infiltration into legitimate businesses, a tactic that has allowed them to expand their influence and revenue streams. The Yakuza also engage in more traditional criminal activities, such as drug trafficking and arms smuggling, but what sets them apart is their adherence to a strict code of conduct. This includes values like loyalty and honor, which are deeply ingrained in their operations. The hierarchical nature of Yakuza families and their ritualistic practices give them a sense of identity and structure that is unique in the criminal world. Despite recent laws aimed at curbing their activities, the Yakuza continues to be a formidable force in Japan's underworld. Their blend of traditional practices with modern criminal activities makes them a fascinating yet concerning phenomenon. Understanding the Yakuza is key to comprehending the broader dynamics of organized crime in Japan and its impact on society. As we continue to delve into these shadowy realms, it's important to stay informed and aware. If you found this journey into the heart of organized crime intriguing and enlightening, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your engagement helps us bring more such insightful content to light. Stay tuned for more deep dives into the unseen corners of our world.